It is absolutely noteworthy to see what General Charles Saltzman, the commander of the US Space Force, had to say when he visited Europe recently. He claimed that China is fast becoming the major threat in weaponizing space and putting other countries far behind it. China is very strict in terms of peaceful use of space, and China has been calling on all the other countries to stop the weaponization of space. Now, China has been very eager to cooperate with the United States as far as space exploration is concerned, but unfortunately, about a dozen years ago, the United States adopted this Wolf Act, which is a law in the United States prohibiting any form and shape of space cooperation with China between the Chinese entities and NASA and another scientific entities sponsored by the United Nations government. Now, the Wolf Act itself was meant to discriminate against China, was meant to exclude China completely from US-led space exploration. Now, it is truly becoming a laughingstock, and it is exactly like what we in China have a proverb for, that is lifting the rock and drop it on your own feet. It is very important to know that NASA and its director offered many times to do this kind of space cooperation with China if China would give certain amount of lunar soil that the Chinese space exploration program brought back from the further side of the moon. Now, from the Chinese perspective, first of all, if China actually offered the lunar soil to NASA, NASA may be, strictly speaking, in violation of the Wolf Act. That's in itself may be a dilemma, because for China, it may enable NASA to violate the law in the United States. That's the first point. The second point is that the United States should not be rewarded with the lunar soil if, for example, the United States enacted the Wolf Act about a dozen years ago on the one hand, and then be rewarded by lunar soil that they didn't deserve. They didn't spend a penny on the Chinese moon exploration, and they didn't spend any iota of resource to change or to amend the Wolf Amendment. So this dilemma was not created by China. This dilemma was created by the United States and now is hurting the fundamental interests of the space program of the United States, as well as the interests of the American people at large. Now, I would say China and the United States really need to sit down to talk about many, many things, but among which space cooperation. China and the United States should think about nothing of weaponizing space or competing in a vicious way in space, because that's not going to work. It's going to bring calamities to mankind as a whole. This is the time for the United States to come to terms with the rise of China in space and never engage in any attempt of discrimination or try to squeeze China out of space exploration.